Hello, folks, and welcome to another edition of Flickering Dreams. This is just going to be a cut-down version with just myself and Scott, because we're the crazy people who really get excited about the Oscars. Andy and Emma, not quite so much. So what we're going to do in this episode is to look at all of the categories of the Oscars and look at our predictions for who will win on Sunday night for the big one. I have my cup of coffee, trusty cup of coffee with my grumpy mug. Scott has a beer. Last week he had wine. It's going to be whiskey next week, isn't it? Okay, crazy
Whiskey or
stuff.
rum, one or the other.
Yep. The illustrious Mrs. Movie Man just informed me that she has a nice big bottle of Prosecco sitting in the fridge waiting for Oscar night to see us through the night with our American food that we always traditionally have through the night on Oscar night. Do you do anything special on Oscar night? Scott, do you stay up?
I do stay up for as long as really I remember them showing it on British TV. So for the past few years anyway. Yeah, I think my fiancée will be sound asleep in bed during the whole thing, so I'll have to stay relatively quiet. But I did put a day off work through today, so it means I can sleep in on Monday morning. And
yeah,
I actually have one or two films potentially penciled in at the cinema on Monday, so I might make use of that time with that.
Okay. That sounds a good plan. Sounds like a good plan. Okay, so let's hack into it. Now, we're starting in true Oscar style at the bottom of the stack with some of the lesser categories, shall we say. Not lesser for the people, I have to say, who were nominated for those awards, who are, I'm sure, are waiting with bated breath for the results. But we're going to work our way back up to Best Picture. If you're not interested in any of our discussion about those minor awards, you can obviously look at the Spotify chapters or the YouTube chapters that are present on there and skip ahead to the categories that you're more interested in. But we are going to start at the lower end of the spectrum. So let's take a look then at what we've got coming. So these are our award predictions. I'm going to start here with live action short, which, Scott, I'm not sure whether you've actually seen any of these or...
Yeah, this is going to be the start of this video. I will basically be abstaining because I haven't seen any short films at all.
I have actually managed to see all of these live action shorts in this category. And I have to say they are a terrific selection. If you get a chance to have a look at these short films, then do so, because I love a short film. They are tight, they are compact. They are typically extremely well written, at least these ones are, because these are the top of the pack. And they're extremely entertaining. If you want to know how to watch them, if you look at my live action short post that you can find on onemansmovies.com, then I have links through to where you can actually see these films. I didn't have much trouble finding all of these, in fact. Actually, the exception for that is Butcher's Stain, because the director sent me a screener for it when I asked him. So that's the one exception. But the other four, you can
very fancy, Bob.
see.
Got links in high places.
It's amazing what you can get if you ask for it. So my pick for this, which is my will win suggestion and also my should win suggestion, is the bottom one of that, Two People Exchanging Saliva, which is a fascinating dystopian look at a future Paris where let's say financial exchanges are done in a very strange fashion, and kissing is actually illegal. So those two things combined add to a fascinating short film, which I absolutely loved and got taken in, filmed beautifully in black and white. So that is my pick. But to be honest, it's quite a lottery, this category, because all of these films are pretty good. Some of them, like Jane Austen's period drama that you can find on YouTube, are absolutely hilarious. So go and seek that one out if you want a really good laugh. The Singers, which is on Netflix, is quite sophisticated and beautifully filmed again. For me, it wasn't my favourite one. But Two People Exchanging Saliva is my bet for that. Let's move on to the next category, which is documentary short. And I have to say, I'm going to have to abstain from this category at the moment, because none of these films, other than the top one, which is available on Netflix, I have actually been able to watch. They are all stuck on HBO, which you need an HBO account and to be in America to watch, or I've not been able to find a link to a copy of that. So I'm afraid this is going to be a null category for me this year, which is a great shame because I always enjoy watching the documentary short films. So we're going to skip on from that. And the next one is animated short, which again, some really great films here, all completely different from each other. Retirement Plan is probably the simplest animation in this category. It's very, very simple, but it is also absolutely hilarious. Narrated by Domhnall Gleeson. It basically lists out all of the things that he is going to do when he retires. And it is very funny indeed and a real laugh. But my pick of the animated short category is the top one, which is Butterfly, which is beautifully animated using oil painting kind of style. And it tells an absolutely devastating story of a guy's life, including his time in concentration camps. So it goes off in very dark places, but it is so beautifully done. I honestly can't see any of these others actually beating it. I've not actually seen The Three Sisters because that's not available anywhere that I can find. So Butterfly is my pick for that category. Moving on, we have the documentary feature. And again, I've I've not had very much luck here. I don't know whether, Scott, you've seen anything in this category.
I have not seen anything in this category, although I do know that The Perfect Neighbor is available on Netflix.
Yes, it is. And I've seen that one, The Perfect Neighbor. I've also seen Mr. Nobody Against Putin, which is available in the UK on iPlayer, BBC iPlayer. I think it might also be available on Prime Video as well. From that list I've only seen those two. My pick for that would be Mr. Nobody Against Putin, which won the BAFTA a couple of weeks ago. But given this is American focused, I suspect The Perfect Neighbor is probably going to be the one that would be picked ahead of that. So in the absence of seeing any of those, I'm going to go for The Perfect Neighbor. The Perfect Neighbor tells the story, as Scott said, available on Netflix, of a kind of Karen, as as you would typically call her, an American who basically seems to hate the world and particularly hate kids playing in the grounds next to her house and making a lot of noise. And it's basically a situation where those events kind of escalate to a sort of tragic conclusion, seen through the eyes of police body-worn cameras, which again is quite interesting. I thought we've seen all of that sort of thing a lot on television in various true crime series. But of those that I've seen, my favourite would be again Mr. Nobody Against Putin. I think what might win would be The Perfect Neighbor. So can't say more than that. We're going to move forwards again to the international feature. This is one of the bigger ones, so it may be slightly out of sequence in this. I would count this as one of the bigger ones. And I have now managed to see all of those films. I saw The Voice of Hind Rajab today. I'm still recovering from that viewing, I have to say. Scott, which of these have you seen?
I have seen half of Sentimental Value.
Because I think you walked out of it.
Yes, this was not necessarily through my whole choice, but for reasons I had to leave halfway through, although I didn't quite mind because I was a bit bored anyway. Perhaps I'll get back to see it at some point. I think of the other ones, Surat, I wanted to see, but the timings weren't great. Secret Agent, again, timings weren't great. And The Voice of Hind Rajab, which is one I want to see the most, that just hasn't been available to stream anywhere here.
It's available on Apple TV now. I think it just got launched. Yeah.
Oh.
You have to rent it, but it's available on Apple.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Yep.
I'll pick Sentimental Value anyway to win this one.
I mean, I think there's probably only two films in the running in that list. One being Sentimental Value, and the other one being The Secret Agent. And I reckon the betting money is probably on Sentimental Value. I've actually plumped for The Secret Agent just because
Oh,
I know what a strong lobbying capability Brazil has. And what was the one last year? No Other Choice, was it? No, not No Other
I'm
Choice.
still here.
I'm Still Here, correct, yeah. And I'm Still Here won it last year. And I'm just aware that there is a lot of lobbying from that department, and I suspect the Norwegian contingent don't have as much lobbying power. So I may be completely wasting my bet here, and I bet a fiver on each of these categories that I think will win, and I fully expect to see this fiver disappear down the river. But I'm going to go with my will win as being The Secret Agent for this one. The one I'd really like to win, my favorite movie on that list, is Sirat, just because as I've mentioned before, it has the biggest WTF moment of any film for me in 2025 for one particular part of that film in the middle. In fact, it's got a few jolty bits. And it seems to be a very, very Marmite film in that some people really go for it. Other people, including Dr. Mark Commode, didn't go for it as strongly as I did. But I thought it was a great film. Great film. As are, in fact, all the films on there. I would go and watch any of those films again. In fact, I think it's a really, really strong international feature category this year. So what do you think you're going to put your bet on, Scott?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go different from you again then. Like the last one, I'm going to pick Mr. Nobody, and in this one, I'm going to pick Sentimental Value. I suspect there's going to be a lot that we agree with throughout this video, so I think we're going to start off with something a bit different on
Let's
this one
add a
as
little
well.
bit of difference because you always
So
beat
yeah,
me each year in this, Scott. So we
well, it's
might as
getting
well
closer
add
each time.
a little bit of variety. Yeah. Okay. And moving on then to the next category, which is original song. Now, where do you think this will go? I mean, I'm fairly certain I know where this will go.
So I'm pretty certain where this will go. The bookies are pretty certain where this one will go. And I have a bet with my colleague Kira, who might be listening to this, that I think Golden is going to win and she gets every other song in the category. But I'm pretty sure I'm winning a free hot chocolate. Golden will win. It's the biggest song. It's the best song. It's an open and shut case.
I would have thought so. Yes. There's one other category which I think is open and shut in this list, but this is the other one. I think it's got to be Golden. Once again, Diane Warren is up for another Oscar for her own autobiography type film, which I must admit I haven't seen, but I don't see it going her way again.
It was strange because every year she's getting nominated and people keep wanting her to be in there, but unless she actually writes a song for a contender, she's never going to actually win. So I don't know what she's doing. She needs to get herself piggybacking off an actual Best Picture contender.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so that's original song. I think we're staying with the music for the next one, which is original score. Now, I think that's going to go with Sinners for Ludwig Göransson.
I agree. I think that
You
film
agree?
is all about music. Göransson is one of the best composers working today. Yeah, I think Sinners will win. Do I want them to win? Yeah, I think I do want Göransson to win as well.
I mean, the score I really liked in that set was Begonia, Jerskin Fendrix's score, because it was so different as a
Weird.
typical kind of Fendrix Lanthimos score is. But I think it will go with Sinners. Yeah, the only score I really had a difficulty with in that list was actually Johnny Greenwood's score for One Battle After Another, which mellowed a little bit with me after seeing the film a second time, which I did recently. But the first time, and indeed the second time, I found parts of it, the score was just so intrusive that I kept thinking they're playing the score, which is not what you want to think about a score. I mean, it was very good, but intrusive for me. So whether that's the fault of the person writing the score or the director and the sound mixer using it, I don't know. But that was my only thought on that one. So moving on to the next category, which is visual effects. Where do you think this will go, Scott?
You were saying that there's one other sort of cut and dry category, and I think I know that it's going to be one of the big ones at the end that you're talking about. I think I'd put this one in the list as well. As much as Sinners is the alternative choice, it has to be Fire and Ash, Avatar. It is the one that on merit deserves to win, I think. And I just think even with people that don't like Avatar anymore, or at least say they don't like it, I don't know how they can argue with the special effects. It's James Cameron just doing his masterclass as usual with his team. Again, this is I think will win, and I also think it should win.
Yeah, I'm with Avatar Fire and Ash on that one as well. The curiously, the one which I think almost deserves it as much is the Lost Bus. I mean, fire and water are traditionally the really difficult things to get right in special effects, and the Lost Bus really did it extremely well. You really felt you were in the middle of an inferno with that film. So I have a lot of respect for them. The one my jaw hit the ground when the nominations were announced was Jurassic World Rebirth being on that list. I mean, I have to say, I thought the special effects for some portions of that film were dreadful. The T-Rex going down the river chasing the dinghy, I thought was just a shocking piece of visual effects. So I would be extremely upset if Jurassic World Rebirth got that award, and I'm actually upset it's on this list at all, but there you go. Moving on, we have a sound. What did I have for sound? Oh, I've put One Battle After Another for this one, although I reckon F1 could be in with a chance of sound winning as well. What do you think, Scott?
I think this is probably the first one where I'm starting to feel a little bit tricky with deciding it. I think there's multiple ways that they could go with this, and we've seen in the past that F1 should be the favourite because it's a racing movie, and they generally do well. Either racing movies or war movies, yeah, they would tend to win. And we don't really have any war movies this year in contention, so F1 is my default, and I think it will win on that reason. But should it? I'm tempted to go with a more subtle pick and go Sinners on this one, as I want to win. But I also did love F1, so for the sake of it, I'm going to say will win F1, should win. Let's go Sinners.
Okay. I've gone with One Battle After Another, as I said, for this one. But I'm not sure. I think it could go F1's way as well.
I think if it goes to One Battle Another, probably early in the night, that'll be I think if it's not F1, if it goes to One Battle or Sinners, that's going to play a big part in thinking about what might happen at the end.
That's quite a pointer. Yes, I agree. Talking about war movies, the one that didn't appear on this nominations list, which I think should have done, was Warfare, which I thought the sound for Warfare was phenomenally good, but it didn't get nominated. So there you go. Did get nominated for the BAFTA, I know, but not for this one. Okay, we are moving on then to makeup and hairstyling, something I know an awful lot about. Not. I've actually gone Frankenstein for this one. I've picked Frankenstein for some of these technical awards. I think the makeup was fantastic for Jacob Elordi, and indeed across the board. I'm doing this from the basis that I haven't seen Kakuha or The Ugly Stepsister, I have to say. I'm not sure whether you have, Scott.
No, I'm in the same position. I've seen the other three. It'd be nice if it went to Smashing Machine, but it won't. I know how much of a fan you are of that film. But no, I think this is another one where Frankenstein is a clear favourite, and I think it is the one I'd like to see as well.
Yeah. Okay. And moving on then to editing. These are in a bit of a funny order. I should put probably costume next, but there you go. Editing. Again,
Big one.
I'm backing one battle after another for this. I think it will be really interesting to see where some of these more minor awards go between One Battle and Sinners. And again, F1 maybe stands a chance at this one because the editing was extremely sharp for that. What's your view, Scott?
Yeah, I think on this one, I am predicting one battle after another, but my heart says I want F1 to win it. I don't know, with Sinners, you do have that one-shot scene, which I don't know if that's anti-editing, I suppose. But yeah, I think that's got a shot because of just the fact it's up for 16 awards. It's always going to have a chance if people just see its name on the voting paper. Some more voters might just pick it just because it's there. But yeah, I think one battle to win. I would like it if F1 won that one.
Okay, all righty. And next category, we've got costume design. Again, I think I've gone for... Oh, I've actually gone for Sinners on this one.
Ooh.
Just because I think some of the clothing in there, particularly for what's Michael B. Jordan's character, Smoke and Stack, was extremely impressive. I again find it a little strange that Avatar 5 Ashes on there just because it's CGI and you're designing CGI costumes. But hey,
It's still costumes. Even if it's CGI costumes, the award is for what those look like, which is why that is my want to win. I think
is it?
in
Okay.
terms of the actual designs of the costumes, I think they look incredible. I would love to see that, but it won't win. It'll be Frankenstein. I can see there being a period of the Oscars on Sunday night where they probably rattle off three close together that will all be Frankenstein wins. And I think this is one of them.
Okay. So you've gone Frankenstein, I've gone Sinners. So there's another difference to watch out for on Sunday night. Let's move forwards to cinematography. Okay, we're getting down towards the meatier end of the list here. Again, I've gone for Sinners for this one. Part of me would like Train Dreams to win because even though I didn't particularly go for the film, I thought the cinematography of Train Dreams was fantastic. But I suspect this will be another one between One Battle After Another and Sinners. And this time I've gone Sinners.
This is going to be fun, Bob. I've went one battle after another. I don't necessarily think it's the best cinematography. I think it's a very gritty type rather than the more beautiful, almost painting type cinematography that you get with Train Dreams, which would be the film that I want to see win.
Mm-hmm.
Again, similar. Not a film I loved, but I thought it was beautiful to look at, as well as the sound and score as well. But yeah, I think Train Dreams I'd like to see. And I want to say it has a chance, but it probably doesn't. So yeah, I think... Yeah, I don't know. The Sinners is going to get this one. Of the below the line categories, it does have a chance in. I don't think this is even the third in this list. I would say Frankenstein comes third behind One Battle and Train Dreams.
Okay.
So I would be very surprised if this is the one that Sinners took. But
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
as a prediction, One Battle.
Okay, we'll see. I might get better odds on this one then.
Yeah, that could be actually. I'd be interested in what the odds are on Sinners for that.
Yeah. Okay. And next up, we got production design. I've gone for Frankenstein across the board on this one. I thought Frankenstein
that's
looked
the third.
incredible, and I fully expected to pick this one up.
You generally don't go against Guillermo del Toro films and production design where you can. Yeah, I think there is a chance of Sinners here, but no. I think when I said there's going to be a run, I think we're talking costumes, makeup, production design. I suspect they're going to rattle those three together and it'll just be the Frankenstein part of the show.
Okay. We will see. We will see. Next up, we have got animated feature. Now, I'm a little bit short in this category. I've only seen 3 of these. Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, and Zootopia 2. Where do you think it's going to go? I think you may have seen Little Amelie as well, Scott.
I've seen Little Amelie, yes. I think it's only Arco that isn't out here yet. Yeah, I think to me this, in theory, should be an easy win for K-pop Demon Hunters, but I thought that last year with The Wild Robot as well. And then sort of the critics' favourite one, Flow, came through. I don't think Elio has a chance. Little Amelie is nice. That could be the critical one that surprises. Zootopia is the one that's made all the money. So it depends how much that gets taken into account as well. But K-pop's just an absolute cultural phenomenon. I think that's going to do the double between animation and song. Yeah, I think will win and definitely want to win.
Yeah.
K-pop.
Yeah. I mean, Zootopia 2, of course, won the BAFTA, but then K-pop Demon Hunters, because it didn't have a UK cinema release, wasn't nominated.
Something like that, wasn't eligible for it.
It wasn't eligible, so there was no competition there. Zootopia 2 looks very nice, but I thought as a kids' film, it wasn't particularly great. I mean, it's made a fortune. Kids clearly love it, right? But I thought the story was convoluted and complex for kids to understand, to be honest. And I asked my
grandkids... It wasn't as good as the first one.
I asked my grandkids if they understood what a patent was, and none of them did. So, yeah, so we agreed, I think, on K-pop Demon Hunters to take that one.
Definitely.
Next up, we have casting, which is the brand new category, the first new Oscar in over 20 years. And the casting set here are Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, and Sinners. This is almost like the old SAG, now the Actors Awards, Ensemble Cast Award, I guess, isn't it? It's difficult to know how these things are judged. I've actually gone for... What have I gone for? One Battle After Another for this one.
I've went for Sinners. Yes, this is going very interestingly tonight. With our differences, I did not see this coming. As you said, I think it's difficult to know how they're going to go with this one because you don't really know how they're going to be judged. And I find this category difficult because when we're talking about best casting, is this an award for which film has the best cast? Or is this a film for how well did the casting director do to get those people? When then you think of maybe some of the films like Sinners, with director Ryan Coogler, he's already got links to Michael B. Jordan, so I'm guessing the casting director didn't need to do much to get him on board, and things like that. So it's difficult to know as a whole what, as a voter, the criteria is for what deserves to win this. Because you see those names as all the casting directors there. I don't know who any of those people are, and I don't know if it matters. So I think it's harsh. And yeah, I find this one difficult just because I don't know what deserves to win for what reason. That all said, I think Sinners will win. And in my category of which film do I think has the best cast, I would say Sinners.
Okay. I mean, you look at it from that point of view, and Marty Supreme is quite impressive as well, isn't it? Given Odessa Azayan is in there, and that character, I can't remember his name now, who plays the financer who...
Oh, yeah, the Dragon's Den boy.
The Dragon's Den
the
guy,
American equivalent. Shark Tank. But then on that basis, why is Sentimental Value not on there? Because that got heaps of acting awards. So I don't understand.
Nope, I agree with that. I'm not sure why Sentimental Value isn't on there. I rather expected Sentimental Value rather than The Secret Agent.
It's a bit strange.
Yeah. Okay. Moving up the chain, we are moving on to original screenplay. So we're on the top 8 awards now. And where are you going to go with this one, Scott?
So I think for the most part, for the rest of these, we're probably talking about 2 films, aside from maybe 1 or 2 categories. Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those nights where everyone's going to be a winner. I think that Sinners is going to win this. Ryan Coogler is going to get up there and make a brilliant speech, and I also want him to. I think he deserves it. We'll see what happens with director category, and I'm sure we'll talk about it in the next category as well, that I'm sure you'll get the other screenplay category up. Yeah, I think this is going to be a night mainly of 2 films battling out, and the fact that these are in different categories, I think we're going to see Sinners win this one, and I've given away my prediction for the other one.
Okay, yep. I mean, the script I really enjoyed out of that set as well was Blue Moon. I have to say, I thought that was a very well honed script and beautifully delivered. For the dialogue in that film was exceptional. But I agree with you. I'm on Sinners as my will win and indeed my should win. I think it's a great achievement. Moving on to a adapted screenplay then, and yeah, there's no doubting where I think this one's going to go. This is almost another nailed on one, I think, which is One Battle After Another. I think it's pretty much a dead cert, that one. But the only one maybe that might challenge it might be Hamnet, but no, I don't think so.
No, I think this is where it's going to be fun throughout the night, because we're going to see Paul Thomas Anderson make a speech. We're going to see Ryan Coogler make a speech in whichever order it is. Either way, whatever happens later in the night, they've already both taken home an Oscar at this point. I will say, for fun, I just managed to catch up with Begonia this week when Cineworld were re-showing some of the Oscar films. And I would say, of the 10 nominees for screenplay, this is actually my favourite one. I just thought it was so clever, just very intelligent, very witty, despite how weird it is. And I was really blown away just with the script that was being performed amazingly by Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. I would love to see Begonia win. And if it does cause an upset, oh boy, that will send a lot of waves around the room. But I don't think it will.
I don't think it will.
It's one battles to lose.
I'm with you on Begonia. That was a 5-star film for me when I saw it at the London Film Festival last year, and went back to see it again when it got released as well. It's a brilliant film, I think. Moving on then to the acting categories, and we've got Best Supporting Actor. Now, I think this one is probably a 2-horse race between Sean Penn and Stellan Skarsgård, and my money is actually on Sean Penn.
Yeah, so I also think it's a 2-horse race, but I think it's between Sean Penn and Delroy Lindo.
Do you?
I'm predicting Sean Penn, and I want Sean Penn to win. But the Delroy Lindo thing is interesting. Reason being, he hasn't been nominated for any of the other award shows until this one. Now, usually that's not a good thing, but momentum is interesting. He is in one of the films that could win Best Picture, and whoever's made the decision to do this has been very clever. When Sinners have been at the other award shows picking up casting, ensemble, etc. like that, you notice the person that's doing the speech on behalf of the cast has been Delroy Lindo. And I feel like that is a sneaky campaign strategy so that people get used to seeing him make speeches. Now, I'm not sure it will lead to a win, but if something was going to surprise Sean Penn on the night, who hasn't been campaigning, turning up to any award shows, it would not shock me completely to see Delroy Lindo take it at the last minute.
I think that would be a surprise. You see, my should win is Stellan Skarsgård for this, because I thought in sentimental value he was just brilliant. It was a brilliant performance. Having seen One Battle After Another again, I got to appreciate Sean Penn's performance as well, again better. And Delroy Lindo is fantastic as well in Sinners. But to me, I don't think he's going to come up against those two. So who's your will win? Is that Sean Penn?
Will win and should win. I'll say Sean Penn. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, but interesting kind of outside bet there on Delroy Lindo. Now, the most
Here we go.
open category, I think, of the whole awards is this one, Best Supporting Actress. I mean, I think we know who's probably just going along for the ride, and that's probably Elle Fanning and, sadly, Inge Ebersdotter Lillias for Sentimental Value. Both of those for Sentimental Value, in fact. Lillias was actually one of my favourite supporting performances of the year, I have to say. But that leaves us with Amy Madigan for Weapons, Teyana Taylor for One Battle After Another, and Wunmi Mosaku for Sinners. Now, Mosaku won the BAFTA for Sinners. Amy Madigan won the Actor Award for Weapons. Teyana Taylor, I think, won the Golden Globes, was it?
Yep.
So they've each won an award in this season, and I find this one really difficult to predict. I was of a mind that said it's probably going to go to Amy Madigan, but then I was thinking about the optics here, thinking about Oscars So White campaign, that you've got one white actress and two black actresses, and the white actress going to win it. I've actually gone for Teyana Taylor on this one, and I'm really not sure whether I'm going to be right there. It could go either way.
Yeah, this is so difficult. With this 3-horse race, you can make arguments for 3 of them to win. The BAFTAs are usually pretty accurate with predicting the acting categories, particularly with actresses, which would make Misako a favourite. Amy Madigan getting the Actor Award, it's the most recent one, and recency bias does help. She's also the one that has had the longevity, arguably the popular one amongst people in the industry. And then Teyana Taylor, she's the powerhouse performance of the 3 that, when she's on screen, stands out the most. Mm-hmm. And she's the only one that's been nominated at all the awards shows. Mm-hmm. But then, if she's such a favourite, why would she only have won Golden Globe so far? I am going to plump for Amy Madigan to win this.
Okay.
It's so difficult for someone to win when they're the only nomination for the film. But I just have a feeling that when actors are voting in this category, and it's going to be so close between them all, I think they're going to vote for the person that they want to win. And I feel like Madigan's got the longevity, she's got the story, the narrative, as the experts like to call it. I think Madigan's got the narrative to win on this occasion. In terms of who I'd want to win, I mean, honestly, none of them. Like, Madigan and Taylor I really enjoyed, and Misako, but none of them would have been in my top 5. I'm going to say Teyana Taylor I'd like to see win, but I don't actually mind out of the 3. Any of them would be good. But Madigan to win.
Right. Who would you like to win who's not on this list?
See, now I'm thinking back on my own list. So this is where the controversy would come in my categorization, because my number 1 supporting actress of the year is actually Kate Hudson for Sung Sung Blue, who is nominated as leading actress at the Oscars. But then, I'll read out my top 10 supporting actresses here just for the fun of it. In 10th, I went Jodie Comer for 28 Years Later. 9th, Zoe Saldana. 8th, Amy Madigan. 7th, Teyana Taylor. 6th is Sydney Sweeney for Echo Valley. 5th, criminally underrated at the award shows this year, Kerry Condon for F1. 4th, bit of a silly pick, but I found it funny, Jamie Lee Curtis in Freakier Friday. And then, in terms of the 3 powerhouses for me, was Emily Blunt, Smashing Machine, Una Chaplin for Avatar, Fire and Ash, and then Kate Hudson, as I said. But we knew that Avatar actresses were never going to get in. Kate Hudson, I think, is miscategorized.
Yeah, she might have won this category if she'd been supporting actress.
Oh, I think she definitely would have.
She would have got my vote for this if she'd been nominated, I have to say. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right, we're moving on then to the big ones, the top 4. Best Actor, and you would have thought this one would have been completely signed, sealed, and delivered, wouldn't you, as being Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme. But Michael B. Jordan winning for Sinners, and to me it feels like Michael B. Jordan's has momentum. You were talking about momentum earlier. So I've gone for Michael B. Jordan as the will win. My should win on that one is actually Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon, because I thought it was such a spectacular change of character, such a transformation he did playing the lyricist Lorenz Hart in Blue Moon. I thought was fantastic. But it might still go to Chalamet. What's your thoughts?
I have to agree. Surely he's talked himself out of it now, hasn't he? As you said, all the momentum was with him. If he just shut
up,
he could have just rode that all the way to the award. But he can't help himself. He just makes himself come across as so unlikable. And I get when he was doing it as part of the campaign strategy, he's playing up to the character being quite egotistical. But now you're in the thick of it. Please show some humility. There's part of me that admires the fact that he's someone that's honest about he wants to win an Oscar. But you don't go out telling people that. You don't say, yes, I'm here. I want to be the best of all time. I want the Oscar. And then this week he said stuff criticizing opera and ballet and just, which has became its own thing. Yeah, I think he's absolutely thrown it away. Michael B. Jordan has all the momentum in the world. We saw Viola Davis's reaction, which has helped how excited she was. And I think just everyone was so happy for Michael B. Jordan to take that actor award. And I think that he is going to get it in the end. And I am so happy and will be thrilled if he does win on the night, because I want him to win.
Yeah.
The only spoiler could be if One Battle was having such an amazing night that Leo sneaks up behind them just quietly, doing his own thing, not really saying anything, and then, oh, wait, Leo? What? The typical, predictable, safe...
I think that would be a surprise, wouldn't it?
It would be a surprise, but he's definitely a secure third favourite of the group. I'd love it to be Michael B. Jordan, and actually, at this point, now I think it will.
Yeah, that would be something special, wouldn't it? Okay, we'll move very quickly on to the next category. Best Actress.
Jessie Buckley, let's go.
Let's go. Yep, Jessie Buckley. Right. I hadn't actually seen If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You until this week. And Rose Byrne's performance in that film is just staggeringly good, I have to say. But I saw Jessie Buckley in Hamlet at the London Film Festival. I came out, I wanted to put a bet on her to win Best Actress. And I couldn't find any outlet that would actually allow me to place a bet because I might have got some decent odds so many months ahead. But
not anymore.
Not anymore. I'll probably put my £5 on it and come out with a grand total of 10p profit from that one. So yeah, Jessie Buckley. Again, great performances in there. Emma Stone in any other year might win it for Begonia because that's marvelous. Kate Hudson, we already talked about. She'd been Best Supporting Actress. She might have won, but it's another terrific performance. And Renata Reinsve is also very good in Sentimental Value. So all terrific performances, very strong category. But for me, Jessie Buckley all the way. So
yeah,
moving
I think
on.
This one, it's the Jessie Buckley Award. She's going to win. I actually, just to go back to should win, I'm with you, and I think actually Rose Byrne deserves it. She was phenomenal in that film, which is even more impressive from me because I didn't even like the film, but I thought she was outstanding in it.
Oh, I did enjoy the film. I thought it was a very good film, actually. I enjoyed it.
Also, if Jessie Buckley was going to win, it should have been for The Bride, not Hamnet, but that's my little controversial pick.
I'm not sure about that. Would we be sure about that? Yes, we would be sure about that, Jessie, yes. It's a bit of a schizophrenic role, wasn't it?
Exactly. It's crazy acting. It's amazing.
Right. Best Director.
So this is where things get very interesting in terms of what might happen at the end. Because as we've already predicted earlier, I think we agreed on these ones. Ryan Coogler is going to pick up an award for Screenplay for Sinners. Paul Thomas Anderson is going to pick up an award for Screenplay. And then which one of them has the momentum on the night? I am predicting Paul Thomas Anderson. I think I want it to be Ryan Coogler. Because as I've said in previous films, the guy doesn't miss. Every film he makes, I absolutely love it. Paul Thomas Anderson, I cannot say the same thing about. So yeah, Coogler, one of my favourite directors working today. So I'd love it to be him. But the career narrative for PTA, it feels very similar to Christopher Nolan, where this is his chance to win one. Are they going to pass by? I don't think they will. So although I wouldn't be completely shocked if it was Coogler, I think it will be PTA.
Mm-hmm. I'm exactly the same. Yeah, my will win is PTA. My should win is Ryan Coogler for that one. And finally, the best film category. 10 pretty terrific films. I would go and watch just about any of them again. I wasn't as mad about Train Dreams, I have to say, but all of the others very solid. The film industry is in good shape, judging from those 10 films. my pick is One Battle After Another, I have to say. But it may depend on what's gone before in the night. But my money's going to be on One Battle After Another, which is probably the favourite to win. The one who's not going to get much any love apart from Best Actress on that list is Hamnet. And Hamnet is probably the one I would like to win out of that set.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this all day, preparing for this podcast tonight, and even as I sit here now, I feel like I should just toss a coin. I don't know. I'll say my want to win is Sinners. There's no getting away from that. It is one of my favourite films of the year. Is it Sinners or is it One Battle?
It's time to make your mind up.
If they want to split it, then they could go director PTA and then picture Sinners, and then it all sort of evens up a wee bit. It would also mean with Michael B. Jordan and Sean Penn, they're also 50-50 in the acting, and it would just keep everything so even.
How sharp is that fence you're sitting on, Scott?
It's extremely painful. Right. I'm going to say... do I go with the favourite or do I go with momentum? Okay, I'm going to play the stats. I'm going to say that One Battle After Another will win. Statistically, it's the film that looks like it will win. And I hope I'm wrong.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Right. So that's where we put our money, or where we will put our money. We said it now publicly, so we're going to have to make our predictions post-match this as well. I've already written my predictions post, I have to say, with those names on it, so I don't think I can change them now. I'm not sure whether I'm going to get them all right. Yeah, it's. I've had some really good years. Last year was not one of my good years. I got only about 50% of my predictions right. Some years I've got kind of 85% right in some years. So, but I don't think this is going to be one of those years. I think there's a lot of opportunity for the awards to go into funny places, and there are typically some categories where there are surprises, and it does go to one of the films you are not expecting, and the bookies are not expecting it to go to. But we will see on Sunday for the Oscars, and we'll let you know via our socials exactly how we did in these predictions. And we'll probably have a Oscars wrap-up podcast with the whole team after the event, just to talk about fashions and hosting and all of those things. Okay, Scott, my thanks to you. That's Scott Forbes from the Film and TV Review on Facebook. I'm Bob Mann from onemansmovies.com, and we'll see you soon. If you are staying up for Oscars night, I hope you have a great night, as indeed we always do, and we will see you soon. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Bob. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for watching or listening to Flickering Dreams. Don't forget you can watch the video version on either YouTube or Spotify, and listen to the audio version on all major podcast platforms. And don't forget to subscribe to receive future episodes direct to your inbox. And please write to us with your views on movies that we've talked about at letters@flickeringdreams.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Cut! Cut!